We were talking about that a little bit before, but I would like to ask you how it was for you when you came to LA. How did you get started? Mm, how long did it take you to get involved here in the music scene?
Yeah, it takes a few years to get to build relationships. I think anywhere.
Mm.
So it was. I remember when I first moved. Very established musician friend of mine that um, told me within a few months you're gonna be so busy. Like 6 months, everyone's gonna like just grab you and like you just not gonna. He said 6 months, but it was more like 6 years.
Okay. Yeah.
Takes time.
I ask you a weird question. I don't know. It's probably a weird one. Why do you do this? Why are you creative? Why do you create music?
I feel like I was drawn, like I just drawn to do that. I don't know, it's kind of like a force that just pushes you. It's kind of like the air in your cells.
Mm.
You don't think about it.
Yeah.
You just enjoy doing it. There's
Cool. Yeah.
There's a certain joy that's like a little very young spirit joy. That's like in the back of your heart and your mind, just like, yeah, it's just fun.
How do you how do you keep that joy up? Does it happen to you that it's not there, or that you have to look for it again?
I think it just you get bored. I feel like anything you do, sometimes you get bored of it. It's a relationship, you know. It's okay to not do it. It's okay to take a day off. I'm not like religiously practicing every day. I don't have these methods and things. It's very. I feel like it's an emotional connection to the instrument. I can just come for, say, I need to practice today and I'm just going to go play. And it might be half an hour, it might be 5 hours. It depends how I'm connecting to the instrument that day. I might not, and I might just discover something new. I feel that's sort of where the joy comes from, because there's a lot of freedom. I'm not one of those disciplined guys that just every day, an hour, 2 or 3, I don't have these rules.
In that context, I would like to ask you another question, and that would be that as a musician, you are kind of working between serving the market on one hand and your own preferences on the other hand. Do you feel that there's a tension sometimes between those two requirements?
Yeah. It's not even about ego. Like you'd say, like someone tells you something to do, like, oh, okay, I gotta do that. It's about how much you contributed truly, purely from yourself, as opposed to they just hired you to, hit a nail on the top and just make this table, and then, okay, there it is, So there's that. You gotta know how to do both. And you also really have to know how to communicate. And that's one of the biggest tools that might make you a busy person and someone that's might be great and not busy.
Did you say no sometimes when you feel that it's too far away from what you do?
Yeah, I really try to only do only take gigs that I enjoy and I feel connected to the music. I feel like it's a huge privilege. I didn't let myself do that in the past, but in the recent few years, I definitely stuck to it, and it helps. If the music isn't speaking to you, just don't do it. I mean, you can go and play, but if you don't have to, don't. Because someone else might have something way better than what you have to offer, or might be connected to the music that will complement the music so much better than you can. Because when it comes to genre, the style of music, or whatever it is. The music is the highest, you know, form. Like, you have to respect it.
What would you say really helped you, or probably helped you most, to become the musician that you are now?
I think exploring,
Yeah.
really. I feel like I'm just like a kid, you know. I really, truly feel like I'm a kid that just discovering these toys and learning how to play with them. I started getting in, you know, finding interest in writing songs in the past about 10 years probably. And I slowly started with really bad songs, and then they're still bad, and then they're like, hello, you know, it's getting there. I'm like, in 20 years I'm probably going to write a good song. But it's getting there, so just, explore. Always. This just never ends, really. I feel like in exploration years, I'm like 5. You know, I'm like so small. So much growth in a way, like it never ends. Never.
We were talking briefly about that before, and you said that you had no real practice routines or something like that, but I'm going to ask you this question anyway. When something inspires you, when you hear music, when you hear other drummers, how do you kind of integrate this inspiration in your own playing? How do you make it yours?
I feel like subconsciously that already happens. With anything you hear. Even a dishwasher. I don't know. I don't really geek out on drummers as much as I used to as a kid, just to like learn how to be Dave Weckl because it was so cool. But it doesn't. I see other drummers and I just love see how someone else complements the music.
How do you find the right drum sound for a song, especially if, for example, you have to do recordings for somebody else?
I do feel like every song, so to speak, or even yells what it wants. And then it depends in the situation how experimental the producer or the writer or whoever's the artist, how experimental they are and how open to be unconventional, you know.
If you were to teach, what would be really important for you to pass on to your students?
I don't know. Probably nothing about drums. I mean, you playing is playing. I feel that what no one really teaches you is the experience that you have to get with a lot of years doing it. So we'd probably mostly talk about relationships and communication and how to listen to things and not necessarily like, hey, this is how you play this, and you know, not anything technical.
Thanks again so much for taking the time.
Yeah.
Pleasure talking to you.
Dankeschön.